Hello guys, today I'll be just, fuzzing around without any purpose, just watching some videos in my feed, and I enjoy different stuff in my life, so my feed is a little bit messy right now, but it will not stop us from, having fun today. So, Halo, I'm a big fan of this game. I absolutely love the first three games, but I think after Halo 3 it kind of jumped the shark. But let's see Halo Combat Evolved experience in 25 seconds. Here we go. Oh, am I recording, by the way? Yes, I am. Alright. And here we go with the just rocket launcher flood here. And like boom. Yes, it pissed me off so many times. Holy shit, it just instant death. Absolutely hate rocket launcher flood in this game. Alright then. If you played Halo, you know. If you haven't, just, play it. It's a wonderful game to play. Vertical farms. Alright, I'm actually into hydroponics. And, well, I like different plant videos. But this video is actually about environmental impact of hydroponics on the planet, and I don't think it's a very sustainable thing to begin with, so already know that it's not sustainable, like clearly, because all this rock wool that is used for hydroponics, all these substrates, they create a lot of pollution just on the stage of making them, and after you toss them out, and it's pretty clear, so I don't want to watch this video again. What else? This will revolutionize education. It sounds promising, but it's a little bit too long. I don't want to watch something longer than 2 or 3 minutes becoming a girl speedrun. It'll drag out. I know this kind of videos. Yes, you just fake being e-girl and thing. Alright, what else? I just sometimes like to scroll through my thumbnails that I see, because they explain a lot, even before you watch the video itself. So as I said, it's just me just fuzzing around. It's not going to be informative. I hope it's going to be entertaining in a way, but I don't promise that, because sometimes I just can't choose the video to watch, and this is kind of the case. This is cool guy talking about movies and what's wrong with the movie industry right now. Pretty cool. Alright, a lot of psych substances videos here, like I think, yeah, this video is not gonna be for everyone. Unfortunately, my feed is inundated with this stuff. Here's why we need to rethink veganism. Alright, that's actually pretty interesting. That could be it for today.
Vegan, a word championed by some as a cure-all for the world's environmental, ethical, and health issues, and critiqued by others who see it as a narrow-viewed approach of food systems. It has quickly moved into the spotlight as a contentious issue across a broad range of communities. Even so, variations on vegan diets, such as Meatless Mondays, have become more widespread as the negative impact of the way we raise livestock has become clear. With vegan eaters being cast as finger-wagging activists and those that subscribe to a meat-heavy diet as heartless animal killers, it's important to understand where veganism is going and how we can bridge the ideological gap between these groups. And caught up in all of this is the issue of climate change. So, when talking about veganism,
it's the name of your channel.
we need to interrogate whether or not veganism is truly the answer to mitigating climate change, as movies like Cowspiracy claim.
This makes animal agriculture the #1 contributor to human-caused climate change.
Eaters are drawn to veganism or a herbivorous diet void of any animal products for a number of reasons. Among them are cruelty towards animals and health benefits. But today, I'm going to solely focus on the environmental effects of veganism as a driver for eating plant-based foods. In terms of environmentalism and climate change mitigation, veganism is effective in lowering one's personal carbon footprint. Part of the reason for this is the large amount of emissions produced by the meat industry. According to the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, livestock emissions account for 14.5% of total global greenhouse gas emissions. A majority of these emissions come from ruminants like cows, who often require more feed, produce more waste, and need higher amounts of
We need artificial cows.
energy input than smaller animals like chickens. In addition, the meat industry has led to deforestation.
What's ruminant, by the way? What's ruminant? I don't know what's that. Ruminant. Toid. Ah. So basically these are animals that are stored in the farms. And even toid ungulate mammals that choose the cud regurgitated from its rumen. Ah, it has multiple part stomachs acquired from plant-based food, but fermenting its specialized stomach. Alright, yes, it's okay.
Animals like chickens. In addition, the meat industry has led to deforestation in the name of more land to raise cattle. And as a result, this has led to a decrease in the Earth's capacity to capture and sequester carbon. But despite the high impact of meat production on the environment, going meatless has not been embraced by all. Strictly from an environmental standpoint, some argue that veganism is not appropriate in some parts of the world because it fails to use the available land efficiently. In Peters et al.'s study in the Alimenta journal, for example, they revealed that a strict plant-based diet would feed less people than other diets like a dairy-friendly vegetarian diet in the United States because it would fail to make use of perennial grasslands typically used for grazing. Perhaps even more importantly, being vegan is not a possibility for everyone. For the 23.5 million people.
Not even that. I don't know if he will talk about that or not, but as I said before, hydroponics, and this is very widespread method of growing plants, is not sustainable. And if you switch from meat to more veggies, for example, you'll require more farms in there and sustainable as well. So let's finish this video first, and then I'll give you my outlook on all this stuff.
Living in food deserts in the United States alone, fresh produce and a wide variety of plant-based proteins are simply not available. For low-income people, buying specialty vegan products is often not an option. For some people of color, food traditions, including those that involve meat, are an important connection with heritage and a means of resisting assimilation and oppression. Despite these challenges of maintaining a fully vegan diet, veganism is not framed as a form of activism or an aspirational diet, but as an identity. You don't do vegan, you are vegan. This means that any consumption of animal products relegates people to a non-vegan status, which tends to push many from any kind of vegan movement and deters others from attempting a vegan diet. As the Vice President of the Humane Society Farm Animal Welfare Department points out, getting people to eat less meat may be easier than getting people to eat no meat, and you could probably spare more animals doing that. From an environmental standpoint,
Alright, I missed that part. My mind Sometimes, I don't know, probably I have very little attention span, but the problem is sometimes during the video my mind go blank. I just don't actually watch it. Getting people to eat less meat may be easier than getting people to eat no meat. Well, yes, sometimes, yeah, people go into those extremes, like you either have nothing or everything, and I can definitely
You could probably
relate to
spare
that.
more animals doing that. From an environmental standpoint, this means eating less meat from places like feedlots and instead investing in the occasional meal of meat raised from ranchers that employ practices like restorative grazing, which, by mimicking the grazing patterns of other large grass eaters like buffalo, are helping to restore perennial grasslands globally, ultimately returning the ability for grasslands to capture carbon by healing the land and the soil. But this also means understanding what is appropriate for your local food system. For some, there are just too many barriers in place to follow a strict plant-based diet. In terms of the environment, going vegan then doesn't necessarily have to mean giving up meat for the rest of your life. That could be a reality for a few, but for others who lack access to viable produce and meat alternatives, it could instead be an aspiration, a goal to work towards. Just because you ate a piece of chicken doesn't mean that you now have to revert back to constantly eating meat. Which means that instead of a blanket no-meat approach, we need to unpack the concepts of veganism and apply them in contextually appropriate ways. Ones that recognize the strengths and obstacles of local food systems in order to ultimately benefit both its people and its environment. This video was made possible.
Alright, so surprisingly enough, he haven't said anything about oh my god, like plants and how they're made, basically. Because all those hydroponic farms are not sustainable at all. So I'll get back to the point I made before. It doesn't reflect the whole picture we have. I think the only way to actually deal with this climate change is to, and again, I'm not a professional, it's just my humble opinion on that. I think we need to find another source of energy, and because all this sustainable energy is not as sustainable as we tend to think. All those wind farms require a lot of materials that are lacking, I would say, and we deprive Earth from these materials in order to do environmentally friendly energy, and it's actually not as environmentally friendly as we think. And the same goes for meat. So if, let's say, all people, every single person switches to veganism, right? But imagine how much vegetables will we need in this case. It's gonna be like, I don't know about figures, let's say 10 times more vegetables, because vegetables are not very dense in terms of calories, and it's very hard to be associated with vegetables only. And I think we will have problem either way, not even talking about health issues, B vitamins that are very hard to get from plant-based food. So I think we need to move forward, move probably to space. It might sound very dramatic and maybe even like a science fiction, but this is what we should strive for, to find a new source of energy, because we have all these problems with the environment because we cannot change this environment enough. So it's not about saving the planet. Planet doesn't care about us. I mean, we should learn how to create our artificial environment. That's where humanity basically started its way. We tried to just play with these blocks that were created by nature to our advantage, and we need to continue doing that. What I'm getting at is I think nothing can stop climate change, and the only way to do that is to just get over it, not to stop it. So on this note, I think I will end this video because I need to go now. So I wish you a great day. Bye.